Okay, this is going to have to be part two, considering my video that I was doing just canceled on me. So we'll go from the green onions to more girdle damage by the rabbits and the mice, voles, whatever. This is a China fir, and it's girdled all over the place. I did protect this with some frost cloth, and mice must have got in there and did a fantastic job of just girdling this thing. But you can see where it wasn't girdled, there's a lot of green. So it's alive. The good thing about China firs are they're notorious for suckering, so I can chop this right to the ground. It's going to shoot up a new sucker, so I'll rely on that and try to think of a better way to protect it from rodents next year. This is the Prague viburnum. I've found that the Prague viburnum is very reliable for leaf burn. It's like minus 18 Celsius, the leaves are fine. Minus 20, the leaves are burned. It's like right at that point. So it goes from like, it's perfectly evergreen in zone 6B. As soon as it hits anything 6A, fries. But having said that, the stems are super hardy. It's like zone 5A stems, and the flower buds and all that stuff are totally healthy. So this will just flush back. Not the first time this is defoliated. So here's something interesting that I was very interested in myself. This is my Cape Harris Southern Magnolia, and to be expected, the leaves are fully fried. However, I believe, and I'm not 100% certain, I'll find out in late May, June, the stems are looking pretty good. And from the bottom of the plant, as you can see, where the snow covered, it's some of them are still evergreen. I'm hoping this brown part on the stems, this olive green color, is just the plant hardy enough and not damaged. But like I said, I'll find out. But you know, those buds in there look great, so it should be all right. I think it's just going to flush back. Hardy plant, hardy. All right, Sable Minor. Oh boy, looks like there's some molds going on in there. Anyway, I protected this with a little tent and a frost blanket, and considering the winter that we had, I was expecting this to be way worse shape than it is. Might decline a little bit, but man, for the winter we had, I think it's looking decent. There's definitely no spear pull. I usually don't get spear pull in Sable Minors, just the needle palms. But nonetheless, you know, I've come to the belief that in Southern Ontario, if you want any kind of palms to flourish, you really need to go through some serious protection methods with with Christmas lights and everything, even the Sable Minors, for them to flourish. Survive is a different story. As you can see, this will just survive, and that's about it. So I think I might up the protection just because I want to have nice plants in my garden. Okay, over here we're gonna see my American Holly, Arlene Leach. Foliage isn't looking very good. However, I'm gonna say this. Just because something is a broadleaf evergreen does not mean it has, the leaves do not have a life expectancy. They certainly do. And I think these leaves have just been around for a while, and like, you know, at least three years of being green. I think it's just their time to defoliate and drop and flush out new. So I don't think, because this is a zone 5A hardy plant, so I don't think it was any kind of temperature damage. I think it's just time for it to drop a few leaves and flush back out. So we'll see about that. I don't think I've done a video on this. There's not much to see, but this is the world's hardiest jasmine. So it's called winter jasmine, and looks good. Stems down there are green. Whether or not, I think the top is a little fried, but that's all right. It's a vine. It'll just, you know, just cut it back and it'll flush right back out. So be interesting to see if it flowers. Over here, I have a trunking yucca that isn't ready to trunk yet. It's not as big as it needs to be, but I believe it's a Gloriosa, and it's a Juniper Level Gardens introduction, or Plant Delights Nursery introduction, called Mellow Yellow. So looks all right. I think it'll pull through. There's a cherry laurel I got last spring, and I can't for the life of me remember the cultivar name, but obviously looking pretty fried. Some of the stems might be fried. A little bit of green down there, but I'm pretty confident from the wood it's gonna flush right back. And I did even protect that with just a tent. I'm gonna pause this. Okay, Bracken's Brown Beauty, like the other southern magnolias that were completely exposed to the elements, all the leaves are completely fried. However, I believe the stems are just fine and will flush back. This is probably the hardiest out of all my southern magnolias, but it is also the smallest and in the most exposed place it can be on my property. But I believe it will flush back.